So to give some explanation and background knowledge for this whole encounter, I was around 15 at the time that this occurred. I was camping out in the middle of nowhere with my family and part of my extended family. My aunts, uncle and cousins. I was the oldest kid there in the RV. So you can probably understand how it felt to have no one else to do the stupid stuff that they did back then with. With a good 2-year gap between me and the inferiors, it was almost like nirvana when I got to the campground and met the other teenagers. These are all people that we knew fairly well from previous camping trips, so it was considered normal to hit it off with them from the start and act like that we've known each other from, like forever within the hour. And with that out of the way, now to the story. So my parents trusted me a lot, but not a lie as well, and well, I liked my fun. I also liked getting home in time for dinner, equally as much. So when I was gone most of the day with other people from the camp, they didn't think too much about it. The only rule was that I had to be back at the RV to eat dinner and before 8:30 in the evening. So picture this: a group of 16, ages 15 to 16, out in the middle of the woods, with no adult supervision for the vast majority of the day. Just a recipe for success right there, right? But this particular day we found a neat little deer trail that we haven't found in the 2 years that we've been here before. On second thought though, it didn't really seem like a deer trail. I guess it sort of sneaked through a really thick part of the underbrush, maybe a foot or 30 centimeters of clear ground, 3.5 feet and 1 meter clear branches going upwards. It's a really hard thing to pick out from the brush, unless your mother really looking or know where it is. But it was promptly explored. Marked for the broken branch outside of the entrance, man quickly forgot. Except I remembered this little special tunnel there. That night, while we were all eating dinner, one of the adults proposed that we played man house in the woods at night. Not everyone was totally on board with this idea, but in the grand scheme of the plan, they were squashed down like autumn leaves. Everyone got a flashlight, and everyone was assigned to a team. For those of you who aren't sure what manhunt is, here's a brief explanation. So everyone playing is given a flashlight, and they're divided into 2 groups. It's basically like glorified flash tag. But there's a catch, you see. As you catch people, you have to correctly identify who they are, and if you can, they join forces with the hunters. The last man standing gets a candy bar or something, or whatever is being offered as a prize. This is how he played it. So for the first round, I get lumped with the runners, those who are getting chased by the hunters. We get a 5-minute head start to run, climb a tree, or whatever we want to evade the hunters. Usually I'm the one up the tree, but that never really worked out as being the winning spot. So to try and score a win for once, I decided to play the cat and use one surefire method of escape. And the hiding spot was that rude little path through the thicket. It took most of the head start time to find the thing, because he was so well hidden and out of the way. As I passed hiding spots, I heard harsh, smothered whispering between siblings who were questioning my actions, like a bird's wings rustling when it's fluffing itself. It should be noted that I have bad hearing. My ears are possibly my greatest asset in the game. But when I am just reaching the destination, I hear the short blast of the air horn, announcing that the 5 minutes are up. I dove into this minute little path in the undergrowth, shuffling on my hands and knees until I'm about halfway in, crouching down like some huge malformed quail. The hunters are doing an initial sweep through the trails looking for obvious horrors and people caught out, trying to change spots and stuff like that. But when they finally reach me, they reach the dead end and go straight back. I try to readjust myself and crawl further down the tunnel, and I honestly don't know how it happened, but I found an even more hidden path within that mall. And accidentally, I dragged my stupid body down the rabbit hole. Except instead of ending in a dead end, this one ended in a sort of slight hollow. I don't ever want to describe exactly what I found there, but I'm sorry, I just can't. But what I will say is that it was a younger looking woman, naked, covered in lacerations and wounds, in the fetal position. Her glassy glazed eyes seemed to look straight through me. I won't go any further than that, but I was too scared to scream. And I froze there while dark burgundy stains formed on my jeans. I froze there in a pseudo-catatonic position, like a marble carving for what felt like hours. And then I heard someone else coming along that path. Have you ever been so scared that for one moment, one insane moment, you truly consider something incredibly stupid as a viable option to escape? That was one of those times. I let out a short trembling whimper and started moving. Whoever was on that path, they stopped and then eagerly started moving forward. Again, I could hear their panting, and even breaths of a man. A horrible marker of whoever was getting closer and closer to me by the second. And by some wondrous beautiful miracle, he missed the path leading to the brushy hollow. I heard him moving down past the entrance, dragging something clunky and awkward behind him. I heard clinking noises and the occasional effort to silence the small, sharp noises. I heard a low curse somewhere towards the end of the tunnel, and I blasted out of the underground tunnel like a bullet forcing its way out of a barrel cracks. Crashes and obnoxious rustling all around me as I heard the man sharply and take a breath and begin to move towards me. The horse, deep panting, was getting closer and closer to me, a testament to how I was too slow at exiting. Somehow I exploded out of the entrance, got onto my wobbly, half-asleep legs and started booking it down the trail. The unknown pursuer was close behind me for a bit, but it seemed like he was too exhausted to chase me at the same speed for long. I know everyone loves to rip on the fact that people always trip in horror movies, but in all honesty, tripping is something that I am amazed I didn't do that day. With adrenaline coursing through me at the speed of Usain Bolt, trying to make my jello-like, unsteady walking appendages work to move me away from whoever was behind me, was like trying to run on water. It felt like an eternity, but I finally reached the main trail, running back to the camp and sprinted down, and screaming bloody murder. Confused faces looked out from the trees and I think someone called after me. Reaching the camp was easy, but trying to explain why I woke up half the people in the camp and bolted out of the woods at breakneck speed was much harder. When I finally choked the words out to explain, I remember a profound and city of silence throughout the group of adults waiting at the mouth of the trail. And I really don't remember a whole lot from that point. I know the cops were called and my mother and aunt ran, shrieking and wailing along the trail, calling for the other kids to come back to safety. When someone's yelling like that, you don't ignore it too. They rounded everyone up in like 30 seconds flat and barreled back into the camp. The police, they found a man out in the woods, creeping along the trail clutching a knife. A black garbage bag with a plethora of sharp instruments was found, and a saw was found abandoned on the trail, some speckled and smeared with dry blood. To be honest too, I just really don't think that there's any getting over this. I still have nightmares sometimes of the man chasing me, breathing heavily down the back of my neck, trying to catch me. But sometimes in my dreams he succeeds.